This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Cincinnati Reds and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Reds. The best boys and girls Park in the Park night redux here at GABP. All the pups on hand. The Reds back at it at home. They start a three-gamer with the Twins here tonight. Reds are hot. They have won 7 of 9. Twins are cold. They have lost 4 in a row, 8 of 10. They have not suffered 5 consecutive losses all season. Now, the Twins have had a hard time scoring runs and pitching. They've been outscored 77-36 in losing 8 of 10, while the Reds have rocked their opponents over their last 9, over 6 runs per game, about 2 home runs per contest for Terry Francona's club.
And it has been a lot of home runs, but I don't think that's really what this team is about. This team is about getting on base and being opportunistic and making things happen. They've been doing a really, really nice job of that. Once again, I think it was illustrated in that last game in Detroit. Not a lot of base hits, but a lot of putting the ball in play. There's something to be said about not striking out, putting the ball in play when you have the team speed that this team has.
Andrew Abbott truly terrific on Tuesday. 110 pitches, a 3-hit shutout in Cleveland. What do you look for the first game after going 9?
Yeah, I look to see if he goes out and he tries to do the exact same thing that he did in Cleveland. And what was that? I was throwing all of his pitches, all of them for strikes. He was pitching unpredictably. DJ talked about it. That cutter's a new pitch for him. So him throwing that ball to those right-handed hitters when they're out looking for that fastball on the outside part of the plate, very, very huge, integral part of his success, getting those right-handers to respect the inside part of the plate.
Lineup that he'll oppose from Rally House. They are 0-3 on their road trip. Just got swept in Houston. Byron Buxton is back after being a later scratch a couple of days ago. Got hit on the elbow with a pitch on Saturday. Ryan Jeffers, Willie Castro's hot on base in 12 straight. Carlos Correa is having the worst year of his career. Old friend Ty France could work counts. He's great with 2 strikes. Brooks Lee rides a 15-game hit streak. Trevor Larnach is among those that struggle against lefties in this lineup. There are a few. Harrison Bader had a brief cup of coffee as a Red. He has rocked the Reds lifetime. And Jonah Bride, who's in an 0-for-24 slide. Oh, Abbott, 8 starts this year, 5 or more innings, 1 run or less. That's second most in the National League. Only Paul Skeens has achieved that more times, and he's done it only 1 additional outing. Now, Buxton is among the Twins that have hit lefties very well, and the first pitch has popped up. Spencer Steer. Reds defense. Benson, Friedl, and Fraley work in the outfield. Friedl and Fraley each had tremendous catches in the 3-hit shutout for Abbott. On the infield, CES starts at third base for just the 4th time this year. It's his first time since the Andrew Abbott CG. He was at the hot corner that night. Ryan Jeffers on the edge strike. Barely over 200 against lefties. He does work his share of walks. He leads the Twins, having drawn 25. Check swing, appeal, no go. Nubbed foul. The oddity for me, Lark, is against the Brewers, I thought Andrew Abbott had his best stuff, I should say, of the season. And he had his worst start by line. There were a few men on base home runs in that game. Against Cleveland, his fastball looked great. The other stuff was very good. But he consistently hit spots. He was very aggressive. He got ahead consistently. Grounded opposite way, and that leaks through, base hit. And it's just funny how some nights the stuff looks sensational and the result isn't. And other nights the stuff looks very good, but not peak, and you can be different.
And you can be, but I feel like that's what makes Andrew Abbott at such a young time in his career so successful is his ability to pitch according to the situation, pitch according to how he is feeling, what pitches are working for him. And the operative word is pitch. You know, he does a really nice job of going out there, and I've said this many times. Early in his career, I feel like he's been able to make the in-game adjustments, real-time adjustments.
Willie Castro popped up. McLean long run. Fraley as well. Fraley from right secures the second out.
I feel like you go out there and you play behind a guy like Andrew Abbott, much like Tom Browning back in my day, and you feel like regardless of what he has, he's going to give you a chance to win, and the team has responded behind him.
Carlos Correa. Three-time All-Star, Rookie of the Year when he burst on the scene 10 years ago in 15. He is having the worst year of his career. Never had it on base below the 310s. He's in the 280s. A slight 245 average, only 5 home runs. And that's slapped in the air to right. Fraley secures. The 9 for the Reds, brought to you by Rally House. They have won 7 of 9. TJ Friedl leads off. Lux, Elly De La Cruz, he has been on a tear. Tyler Stevenson as well, on base in 10 straight. He's hitting the ball hard with regularity. CES has been slumping, so is Will Benson. Spencer Steer takes on the team that he once called his parent club, Jake Fraley and Matt McLean. One of the great nicknames in the sport belongs to tonight's Twin starter, 6'6", 185, the Slim Reaper, David Festa.
I love that nickname. Festa is a 4-pitch pitcher. You just saw the 4-seam fastball, changeup, slider, and a sinker. He is all the way on the third base side of that rubber. That could present a problem for those right-handed hitters. You see, he likes to work away.
(2-0). Called a tall strike. Gets a lot of strikeouts, almost 11 per 9 last year. He's about 10 per 9 this year. Chopped up the middle. Correa on the run. Full defense. Harrison Bader in left. Byron Buxton can get it with the best of them in center. Willie Castro on the infield. Jonah Bride, Correa, Lee, old friend Ty France, who ranks well among first basemen, and Ryan Jeffers. Now Bader has been mostly playing left field for the first time in his career. 2/3 of his time this year has come at left. He's overwhelmingly been one of the elite center fielders. He's quickly become an elite left fielder. Team high 6 outs above average. That ties him for the best among all left fielders. 1-1 on Gavin Lux. So against right-handed pitching, he more often of late has been batting second. This is already the 8th time in June that he's hit second for the Reds. And he's hit safely at 4 of 5, a .316 average in that time. Roll to the perfectly placed lead. I have not seen a team squeeze the right side against Lux all year like the Twins did, and it worked perfectly.
Defense is obviously playing relative to how the Slim Reaper is pitching out there. He certainly did not have to go far to catch that ground ball.
Rocco Baldelli's ball club that won 13 in a row earlier this year, but finds itself at a spiral entering this series. Elly De La Cruz. First pitch change for a strike. 462 on the trip. That bumped his season-long average by 20 points. Back-to-back changeups. Terry Francona was asked, what do you see as De La Cruz has been heating up? And he used the turn of phrase, he's been quieter at the plate. And rolled to the well-positioned lead. Quiet first for the Reds. 3 ground ball outs. It's here. Join the Reds tomorrow. Game 2 against these Twins. Fans in attendance receive a sliding Ellie De La Cruz bobblehead thanks to the good folks at St. Elizabeth Healthcare while supplies last. Go to Reds.com/tickets. Lark, it is by far my favorite single bobblehead since we have shared this booth together.
Get here early because, as you said, as supplies last.
Ty France leads off. Generous strike. France on Saturday lost a career high 24 game on base streak. And he sends this ball to right. Fraley has it read. 1 away. That brings up arguably the Twins' hottest hitter, switch hitter Brooks Lee, who was among the 3 that have really hit lefties this year. He's hit everyone in the last few weeks. He rides a career high 15 game hitting streak. It's the longest active in the big leagues. Almost 360 in that time. Homers in back-to-back games. And what does Abbott do? He pitches backwards, a curveball, steals strike 1. Jim Day, what do you got on that Ellie bobble?
It's a good one. There I am holding it. Check it out. It's a good one.
It is a bobble head, so that head starts bouncing around.
Absolutely.
I love the nuance, Jim, the detail of the multicolored sliding glove.
Oh, they've got it down. Yeah.
The beaming smile.
Yep.
That is awesome.
Looks like he's having a lot of fun, doesn't it?
Well, he normally is.
He is. That's right.
Abbott gets his first strikeout, showing life on that heater up.
Well, Abbott, I think he sees that Tony Randazzo behind the dish is being a little generous with the strike zone. So keep creeping out there and see how much that umpire will give you.
I mean, check out that call. That's a strike on the edge, and Larnach hopped back as if it were right at his chest. Now, Larnach has great power. His 10 homers are second most on this Twins club. But against lefties, a .67 this year. Time for Larnach, who's had those kind of splits lifetime. He's a sub 200 lifetime hitter against lefties as well. 45 career homers, 41 against right-handed pitching. Now, Lark, this upstairs heat looks similar to Tuesday. He's been 93 to 95 already. And it doesn't seem these hitters are seeing the ball that well. Popped up. Stevenson, no play. He just said a friendly hello to his one-time brief teammate, Harrison Bader. He is the on-deck man. That's driven to left center, and that's got carry. Benson streaking back, deep gap. It's off his glove. Larnach never stopped. He's into second standing. There was some odd fade in the route of that ball in flight.
You know, we've seen these outfielders go from right to left field, and one of the issues with that is that the ball comes off the bat differently. It almost looks like that ball was overran, and it definitely had that kind of fade, if you will. But it's tough out there navigating that wall, that warning track, and that English on the ball.
Scored a hit, a double for Larnach. Harrison Bader, career .293 at the Reds' expense. He lifetime has hit more homers and drawn more walks against Cincinnati pitching than any other opponent. Three and 0. Edges for a strike. Full count. Twins have been swept on their road trip so far. In losing 3 to Houston, they went 0 for 15 with men in scoring position, striking out 6 times. Payoff. Looking. 0 for their last 16. The backward K for Abbott. FanDuel home run odds. Latest odds on FanDuel. Tyler Stevenson to go deep, plus 390. Same for Encarnacion Strand. And Will Benson at plus 460. Now, Stevenson's been hitting the ball hard with regularity. Ribbies in 3 straight, on base in 10 straight. In his last 16 games, almost 340 with 5 of his home runs. First pitch lashed down the left field line early and foul. Festa, both last year and this, can be prone to the long ball.
You talk about Tyler Stevenson's success, and well documented his injuries that he's had, and starting the season somewhat late. Seems like he's caught up, and it is a real thing. When you lose time to injury, it just takes time to catch back up, because the guys that you're competing against, they're in mid-season form. Well, he's rounding into shape nicely.
One, two. Back-to-back sliders way away. And Stevenson very calm takes here against Festa. Reds have seen Festa once before. That's when they took 2 of 3 in Minnesota last year. That ricocheted off Randazzo, and they're beckoning for an athletic trainer. Sean McQueenie up the steps. It was just last homestand when the home plate umpire took a ricochet off the face guard and had to come out for the rest of the game, and it seems like similar contact here. Yep. He says he's all right, and as memory serves, Lark, in that ricochet last homestand, it was a similar situation. Our home plate man stayed in for an inning and then later left, and they went to 3-men rest of the way. There's just such acute awareness of head injuries in today's world, as there should be. A warm-up toss here for Festa. Stevenson makes sure that Randazzo's all right. Now starts to dig in. And Festa failed to go 4 against the Reds last year. Got tagged with a couple of runs. Away. Swung through, strike 3, first strikeout for Festa tonight.
Sliders away and then goes with the changeup. The ability to throw any pitch at any time makes you unpredictable. It looks like Tyler was looking for the heater. That changeup is devastating when it looks like the heater, but the bottom just drops out.
Fouled away by Encarnacion Strand. When he first got activated off the IL, was mashing consistently up the middle regularly. He's been chasing a little more of late. 2 for his last 17, 6 strikeouts. Hard foul. And you know, Lark, it's similar to what's happened earlier in his career. He's got incredible innate power. And you know, the league radar lights up faster than ever before, and he's also being pitched commensurately.
Yeah, I think the most difficult thing for a young hitter with power specifically is to learn to just make contact, right? Because you've always hit the ball for power. You've always had the ability to hit the ball at the ballpark. But part of that is just hitting the ball. And I know just my personal relationship with guys that have power, my message has always been just make solid contact. You don't have to think about power. Not to say that Cess is thinking about power, but we've seen him be able to hit the ball the other way. And when the league makes the adjustments to you, you're going to have to adjust what they're doing. That hot streak, he was hitting everything. He was precise. But you have to have a default. You have to have a go-to when you're not hitting the ball that well. Because that's what you're going to see, right? And if you're thinking about letting the ball travel, if you're thinking about hitting the ball the other way, either you see that ball early, or you don't swing at it, or you're able to foul this ball off. Cess is getting a steady diet of balls out of the zone. And not just Cess, any struggler, any guy that's struggling is going to see pitches out of the zone because you're not in position to hit it.
Now, in contrast, Will Benson, who takes strike 1, is having similar woes. In June, he's hitting 188, but he is walking and he is getting his share of hard contact. It's been outs, but he has been blistering a good number of those outs.
So Will is different in the fact that it's not about his balance. It's about his angle of attack, his approach.
High fly center field. Buxton going way back, and that ball is caught on a leap at the wall. One of the better players in this game. When he's healthy, few can hang with him. Buxton goes up and takes it away. Byron Buxton robbed a would-be homer of Will Benson. He is due to hit second here in the third. Jonah Bride leads off. Bride 0 for his last 24. His last hit was a 9th inning single May 19th against Cleveland. He has hit the Reds well lifetime, 400. He has hit Abbott well. He's 3 for 5 against him. Great looking pitch, just a touch tight. Top to third, foul. The Reds have got 10-5 against the American League Central this year. Their second best win percentage against a division going back to 2000. They were 13-2 against the American League West 2 years ago. Just had that big series win in Detroit, snapped the Tigers' streak of consecutive series won at 5. Took down Cleveland twice in a couple of weeks. Payoff. Swung through, strike 3. If you don't already have it, scan the code. Learn how you can get FanDuel Sports Network, your local home for Reds baseball all season long. Top of the order, Buxton saw one pitch. He foul popped to first his first time. Backdoor breaker for a strike. Despite time on the IL, Buxton leads the Twins with 11 homers. In his last 41 games, hitting over 300. Abbott is locating that fastball largely very well so far. Stevenson tried to hold the frame, called low. Sent to center. Friedl going way back. He's at the wall. He leaps and that's gone. Almost the exact same spot where Buxton made the catch to Rob Benson. He hits the spot over leaping Friedl, and the Reds trail 1-0. Baseball is a funny game.
Yeah, I saw that lining up. I thought TJ Friedl was going to be able to scale that wall. This is a curveball that's just up in the zone. Didn't quite have the finish. High breaking ball. All you got to do is touch it. Buxton does enough. Just out of the reach. TJ Friedl.
Strike 1 on Jeffers, who has singled and was just fair inside of first. Two. It wasn't that long ago the Twins were the hottest team in baseball. May 3rd through the 17th, they won 13 consecutive games. It began with a series win in Boston. They swept Baltimore. They swept San Francisco. They swept the Orioles again. And they just fell short of sweeping the Brewers. They took 2 of 3 and fell in the finale. That's poked right side and through, base hit. It was their second longest win streak since the franchise moved to Minnesota, the old Washington Senators, in 1961.
Second time Jeffers has just gone up there with the idea of just putting the ball in play behind in the count. First time down the right field line, that time to that vacant 4-hole.
So now Willie Castro, who is flying to right. Castro hits in 8 straight, on base in 12 consecutive games. On June 3rd in Sacramento this year, switch hitter homered from each side of the plate. In the Minnesota time for the franchise, the only other man to do that, Chili Davis.
What a player Chili Davis was. Guy I think about when you think about Minnesota is Kirby Puckett.
Runner goes, and time was called first. Looked like a point to the hitter. And Twins in the Puckett era, part of that turnaround from worst to first, along with the Braves, matching up in the World Series. Do you know where the Chili nickname for Chili Davis came from?
I do not.
Apparently when he was a kid, his dad gave him a haircut and it was really bad. 1-2. So the kids, his classmates and neighbors, of course they were kind and welcoming as children are.
Yes.
They said it looked like somebody put a chili bowl over his head and just cut the hair. Gave him a bowl cut.
And that stuck?
That stuck.
Wow.
Chili. Twisted swing and a miss. 4th strikeout for Abbott.
Yeah, that pitch right there is a front door breaking ball. Lefty to a right-handed hitter, front door breaking ball. Normally you see that ball on the outside part of the plate. This is effective because it takes away space. And with 2 strikes on the hitter, Willie Castro, he has to protect. Just another great pitch.
Now, these two have worked well together this year. Entering tonight, Abbott's ERA with Stevenson catching .55. That, of course, does include the CG, the 9-inning shutout game for Abbott. But it goes beyond that. This is their 6th start of the year, working as a combined battery. And this is a decent workload for Abbott on the inning. This will be his 25th pitch of the inning.
With that in mind, that was a good trip to the mound, especially coming off 110 pitches.
Yeah, that's a great point, Jim, because you were in the room when Terry Francona was asked, what are you looking for coming off 110? And he had a different spin on when he would look at that even more so.
Yeah, he wasn't quite worried about Andrew, but it's always the start after a start like that that you watch very closely.
Shovel pass there by McLean. But Buxton goes deep to the same spot where he robbed. He puts the Twins ahead.
Our Elk and Elk injury report for today. Groin strain for Graham Ashcraft. It's been bothering him for a moment. It got worse. He is to the 15-day IL, and Luis May recalled from AAA Louisville. That will certainly affect the Reds bullpen. We also have an identical situation that you were talking about before, in which home plate umpire Tony Randazzo took a foul ball to the mask. He stayed in for a game. Athletic trainer was called out between innings. His fellow umpires came to him and was checking on him, and apparently signs enough that they want to check for concussion. He has gone underneath, and you see this discussion right here. It looked like Randazzo was saying I'm okay, but his fellow umpires who are around him all the time knew something was wrong. He is down, and now there's another umpire that is going to get his home plate umpiring gear, so we're going to have a delay here, and it was a nasty one to the mask, almost an exact replay of what we saw last homestand.
And this is the scene tonight in the Stevenson AB. The man who was talking to Randazzo was the crew chief, the first base umpire Dan Bellino. It was Manny Gonzalez 10 days ago in the Reds Diamondbacks game that had an almost identical ricochet off his mask, and in almost exactly the same fashion. An inning later, removed from the game. And that means, Jim, more than just changing umpires, it is a long process to get that underbelly gear put on.
Yeah, it's not real easy. I mean, back in the day, they just had, even the American League had different umpires, where they just had like a screen, if you will, that was easy to put on. But nowadays, the equipment is so precise that it is a lengthy process to get the gear on and then get your outer gear over top of that. So as we saw last time, it was quite the lengthy delay last time, and it should be similar to that here.
Now this was against the Diamondbacks when Manny Gonzalez got hit. That was on a foul ball by Matt McLain, and he was wearing that hockey style mask.
And you know it's a bad situation with Tyler Stevenson at bat, and he's been there, done that. As the batter, he immediately went to Randazzo. He knew it was a bad shot.
Yeah, catchers and umpires are brothers in arms, Lark, in that kind of situation.
Yeah, they can appreciate all that action that happens back there. I'm telling you, as a middle infielder or a guy that's doesn't play that position, you saw Matt McLain's reaction, and it was like, okay, it was just a foul ball off the mask. Tyler Stevenson's reaction was, it was a foul ball off the mask. He knows what's that's like. So hopefully Randazzo is good, and the health of players and umpires, anyone down on that field, is certainly takes precedent.
So while Clint Vondrack gets the gear on, we'll step aside. We'll be back with more in just a bit. Umpire change delay, a 1-0 Twins lead.
It gives us a chance to go down on the farm. One of the Reds' top 5 prospects, Cam Collier, who was sidelined with a thumb injury for several weeks, promoted to Double-A Chattanooga. This is a left-handed hitter, infielder, flat-out hit, good bloodlines. Double-A Chattanooga right now delayed by weather, so he is yet to make his Double-A debut. The Reds excited about this guy, and if you like minor league prospects, you'd like to follow the top prospects through the Reds system, quite the top of the lineup right now in Double-A Chattanooga.
Yeah, whenever they do get that game underway, Hector Rodriguez leading off, Edwin Arroyo hitting 2, Sal Stewart having a terrific year, bats 3rd. Collier is the cleanup man. Jay Allen the 2nd, Ethan O'Donnell, Dominic Patelli is in that lineup tonight. Lots of young men with major talent at Double-A all together.
Yeah, that's a team we call that is stacked. Those are all a lot of really good prospects and guys that we have high expectation. Cam Collier, 3rd baseman that converted to playing first base, and that's how he suffered the thumb injury. So it's going to be interesting to see how he continues. I know he played some games in Dayton before his promotion to Chattanooga, but it's going to be interesting to see how he goes out there and competes every day at that first base position, protecting himself. And a lot of times it's just about having the experience of taking a throw from the infielders with that runner coming down the line. Hopefully he's learned. Hopefully he'll be able to protect himself. But that team, that talent, talked about Sal Stewart. Sal Stewart is a guy in spring training that made a tremendous impact, right? I feel like Edwin Arroyo. Edwin Arroyo is a future big league shortstop, be it here in Cincinnati or somewhere. And Hector Rodriguez, this young man, he's got hands of stone, and he just has an incredible ability to put the bat head on the ball. Good players down there.
A lot of talent there in Chattanooga. Talent and kindness here in Cincinnati. Jim and TJ Friedl rekindling moments of his own boyhood, continues to give back to the greater Cincinnati community.
Yeah, when he was 14 years of age, he had a month-long stay at Children's Hospital in San Francisco. It had such an impact on him in a tough way. He realized firsthand how tough it is for kids to have lengthy stays in the hospital. And thankfully, he was okay. Others have not been. And this is part of the reason why he makes frequent trips to Cincinnati Children's Hospital. But this event they had in the Champions Club today, off the charts. It was a reverse signing. Friedl, through his agency with the help of Topps Cards, arranged for kids from Cincinnati Children's Hospital to get their own Topps baseball cards, and the kids signed for the major league players. Friedl rallied his teammates. You see all those faces up there. So imagine being a kid at Children's Hospital, and you're going through a tough time, and boy, you could use any smile or anything to motivate you at all, and you come over and major league players are signing your card. And these are authentic cards. The kids sent a photo and their info, so it's their picture and their info on the back of the card, just like a baseball player. Great event. Great idea, which started a few years ago with Mitch Haniger in Seattle, and some have copied it. Friedl caught on and brought it here to Cincinnati. Good on him, and good on the players that all went through there for those kids today.
Amen, Jim. And
it is so great when a player gets it and uses his platform to pay it forward for these aspiring young kids, aspiring just to be either healthy, be whatever it is, but just young kids. A kid can be a kid, and for TJ and for the players to use that opportunity to make a difference in their life, I applaud that. That is amazing.
Oh, Friedl and company give it back. Good sized crowd here in Cincinnati tonight, as we'll step aside and hopefully be back with the resumption of play. Changing umpires, an injury delay for one of the men in blue. It is 1-0. Twins have the lead on the Reds. Don't miss the Reds as they battle the reigning American League champion New York Yankees. 3-game set starts Monday, June 23rd. Presented by Kroger. Zero hunger, zero waste. Visit reds.com/tickets. Golic and Golic, featuring Mike Golic Sr. and Mike Golic Jr. on FanDuel Sports Network daily. They're bringing the heat, bold takes, big personalities, some of the biggest names in sports. Weekdays 3 to 5. Only right here on FanDuel Sports Network. Well, warm-ups now for David Festa, who's gone almost 26 minutes without throwing a game pitch. Clint Vondrak has shifted from second base umpire to behind the plate, so it will be a three-man crew the rest of the way as Tony Randazzo gets looked at. Bottom third due up for the Reds, starting with Spencer Steer. And we'll see how this long delay might impact Festa.
It is a challenging situation, one less umpire, but it is something they are trained to do, particularly in the minor leagues. And even in spring training, there are games where there's often just 3 umpires. So there's a rotation to it, a method to the madness, and they are very much trained to go one man short.
And when you're at A-ball and below, it's a 2-man crew. At Double-A, you start with the 3-man crew. Only in the minor league playoffs do you get something that's more reminiscent of a usual major league crew, not a major league playoff crew that would have the extra outfield umpires. Spencer Steer. First pitch strike. Third round pick by the Twins in 19, came to the Reds through trade. It's this ball high in the air, left field. Bader a long run, ball cap off, tight to the wall, makes the play. 27 minutes between pitches for David Festa. Jake Fraley in the month of June hitting for a higher average, getting on base a good amount more. First pitch fouled away. Almost 260 in June, is on base at 375. And in Abbott's last start on Tuesday, he made the play of the game, perhaps the play of the year, with his diving grab deep in the right field corner to rob Jose Ramirez.
Yeah, that play got me out of my seat. It's a backhanded diving play. It was amazing.
Granted, where that ball was going and the hitter's awareness and how the game was going, I think there's, in my mind, zero doubt Ramirez would have been at third, I think cleanly. And I think there's an outside chance with the wrong carom that he might have tried to and could have scored. Swing and miss. 3 strikeouts for Festa.
Seen Festa a couple of times with 2 strikes for the punch out go to the changeup. It's a really good pitch.
Matt McLain. Is he turning the corner? His last 9 games, 290, 2 homers, walks are up, on base 371. What are you seeing?
I would like to say yes, but the proof is in the pudding. We just have to see. I like his approach. I like his first 2 takes. That's where it starts. It starts with balance and the ability to lay off bad pitches. A lot of times it's not necessarily your swing, it's the pitches that you're swinging at. And you're swinging at those pitches a lot of times because you don't have your balance.
Taking all the way, 3-1. In the Sunday finale in Detroit, hardliner opposite way in a big moment for McLain. Called low, and he works a walk. That's the first drawn by a Red. That's the first Red to reach against Festa. On top of the order, TJ Friedl, who grounded to short his first time. Ryan plays on the grass at third. Could this be a good spot to run? Got a really tall pitcher, long arms. This year the league is 0 for 2 trying to steal on him. Last year the league was 10 for 10 successful against him. McLain's not been caught of the year. And a moot point sails to center. Buxton glides in. End of inning. Join the Reds Saturday, June 28th as they battle the Padres. Fans in attendance take home a Big Red Machine cap thanks to FanDuel Sports Network while supplies last. Get your tickets now, reds.com/tickets. Ty France leads off. First pitch, swing and miss. France line to right his first time. Andrew Abbott has struck out 4. He has walked none. The 1 run on a Byron Buxton homer. Now Abbott, early in his major league career, arrived with a nickname to his most successful pitch that first year. That four-seam fastball that just seemed to explode on hitters. Dubbed the Invisible by the Reds' all-time saves leader. Now television analyst with ESPN and the ACC Network, Danny Graves, who Jim Day was just on your podcast and also did something on national TV that few former players have done.
Well, he pitched for the Savannah Bananas here at GABP over the weekend. So to do that, he had to change his travel plans. So he ended up on 2 different airlines to get to Omaha, Nebraska. Well, they lost his luggage. He finally got to Omaha and had to go right on the air. So he's in shorts and a sweaty shirt. So in classic Danny Graves fashion, to prove a point that if you lose my luggage and it's hard to work in that fashion, I'm going to go on shirtless. So he goes on ACC Network shirtless and explains, I don't have any luggage. Classic Danny Graves. Yeah, Gravy, you know very firsthand.
Indeed. Yes, indeed.
They eventually got him an ACC Network shirt. And he finally did get his luggage, so he's good now, but it was quite the whirlwind.
Brooks Lee to center, 2 down. And the full story that he tells, Jim, it goes on for a bit. It also involved at one point some kind of an issue with his tub and shower in the hotel room and having to use towels to clean up a flood. And
yeah, he was snake bit. I mean, and I asked him on the podcast, you know, Casey injures his hamstring, tears it off the bone. I mean, should we check on Todd Frazier and Bronson Arroyo? This could be a Savannah Bananas curse. I think they're okay, but yeah, he also had a water problem, a flood in his hotel room. Wore sweaty shorts and sweaty shirt for a couple days. Hang with him.
2-0 and Trevor Larnach, who's got a base hit, a double off the glove of Will Benson. I love Gravy. Golfed high in the air, medium right center. And Friedel's got it. 1-2-3 alongside the shirted Barry Larkin.
Gavin is a person that had to overcome a tragedy at an early age. One of his best friends when he was a sophomore in high school, Clay Davidson, who was just 16 years of age, inexplicably committed suicide. Now, such a tragedy would send many teenagers down a destructive path, but Gavin used it as building resilience from it. And he told me that when he needs a reminder, he just looks down at his left arm. And on that arm is a large tattoo with Clay's former number and what Clay had tattooed on his arm, giving credence to Psalm 23:4, which says, even though I walk through the darkest valley, I will fear no evil, for you are with me, your rod and your staff, they comfort me. Well, he's been comforted by the memory of his friend, even though to this day it's inexplicable why Clay took his life. Now, the memory lives on through Clay's mom, Felicia, whom Gavin calls like a second mom. She has been here in Cincinnati to watch him play. Most recently was in Chicago. So the two families are very, very close, and just took a tragedy and tried to gain some sort of positivity out of it. And he looks down at that arm often.
Well, thank you, Jim, and kind thanks to Gavin for sharing as well. Greater awareness, thankfully, today about mental health than ever before, and we're still just scratching the surface and learning. Full count on Lux, who has bounced down to second base. And just like they did the first time, they are severely pinching that right side hole. Brooks Lee is as close to the first baseline as I could recall any second baseman being against Lux, and he gets a leadoff walk. It's now man on for the red hot Elly De La Cruz. He saw a lot of changeups his first time. Grounded out to second base. Homers in 4 straight, In Reds history, those 23 or younger. Pretty good group. First pitch.
If he continues homering like this, we could have several pulled muscles for Terry Francona.
And the amount of dabbing reaction
Yes.
that now Elly is imitating, right?
Yes.
So
when Elly comes around third base, he does the cool version of it. Well, when he gets to the dugout, he imitates Tito trying to do it. Whom Tito said the first time he did it, he pulled an intercostal muscle. But he said he's willing to do it again, and many times.
1-1. Looped in the air down the left field line. Long look for Bader. And Jim, Tito also shared that he found a way to light a fire under Elly in Detroit.
Oh, in Detroit, Elly was DH, in which he doesn't like. And Elly throughout the whole game just saying, you know, I'm okay, right? I can play the field. I'm okay. I'm okay. Well, he has a big day, hits his home run, fourth straight game, and Tito goes to him, you make a pretty good DH. Tito said he heard several curse words in Spanish to follow.
1-2. Down to the way. That goes back to his time beginning rising in the minors when he would remind Sean Pender regularly, I'm a shortstop. There it is. Top to first. Fire to second. De La Cruz able to arrive. Fielder's choice. One down. Tyler Stevenson struck out swinging. He was down 0-2, brought it full. He went down on a changeup. You mentioned 3 strikeouts for Festa. 2 have come on the change, 1 on the slider. Swing and miss. There are several Reds, by the way, that I think are deserving of much better showings in their respective all-star votes at their positions. De La Cruz, probably the highlight at short. Leading all shortstops in homers and ribbies. And in steals. There's 20 swipes on the year. Has not had a steal in a week exactly. It was in the Abbott CG in Cleveland last time he took a bag. Understandably, he draws a couple of throws. It's a nearly 6'6" shortstop. That's a 6'6" pitcher on the mound. Oh, 2.
1.33 to the plate that time. Running territory.
It's something he's quickened this year, but
it's a base stealer. You're thinking 1.3. If a pitcher's over 1.3 or slower than a 1.3, you figure you can steal on him all day. And that 6'6" frame definitely factors into it. Long legs, long levers. It takes some time.
runner goes. Good jump. Pitch was elevated. Thrown out. A bad one. 21st steal for Elly De La Cruz. Tying run in scoring position.
Just a little patience and wait until you get a nice jump. Elly does exactly that. All kind of panic when that young man starts to make things happen on the base paths.
Two-two. Check swing. Appeal He did not go full count again for Stevenson.
See if he tries to go back to that changeup.
His only one this at bat missed in the dirt. Up and in with the heat, and he walks it. So the Reds still don't yet have a hit, but they have drawn 3 walks from Festa 2 this inning. And he'll get a visit before Christian Encarnacion Strand stands in. We're now from Miami Valley Gaming.
With so many lucky winners around here, you'll want to get down to Miami Valley Gaming. Get ready to get lucky.
Pitching coach Pete Mackey with most of the infield in. Now some unique splits for David Festa, and there's a big asterisk. At home he's terrific. He's only had 1 road outing. That was 2 starts ago. 8 runs, a career worst. The 3 homers allowed tied a career worst. He got rocked in Sacramento. Here he is on the road against the Reds. Oddly enough, last year's splits were inverted. He was horrible at home. He was very good on the road. Encarnacion Strand struck out chasing a slider way out of the zone away. Top of the zone, strike 1. Time and hand signals. Encarnacion Strand has been far better in this ballpark. 293 at home. 4 of his 5 homers have come here in Cincinnati. Pickoff play. That's happened to Ellie a few times this year. Usually that's with an inside move. That one seemed pretty telegraphed and more easily read. Stevenson a huge lead. 0-2. Ty France rates very well defensively. He could pick it as a Red when he was at first base last year. And he's playing way off the line. Has pitch com in, so he knows what's coming from Festa. Driven high in the air, foul first base side. France to the rolled up tarp. Goes up that tarp, it's in the seats, foul. Larger lead for De La Cruz. He goes. Pitch is chopped foul. He had Festa red there. A steal of third here could be a big deal. While Encarnacion Strand has been strikeout prone, it would mean a fly ball could tie the game. High pop. Jeffers sheds the mask. 2 down. Will Benson nearly homered for the Reds. The man who mashed for Minnesota, Byron Buxton, made a well-timed leap on a ball that was killed and didn't go as far as you would think. Hit at 107. Nearly dead center, and Buxton able to hop up, extend, and make the catch. Just another example, Lark, of a ball that's happened a lot for Benson of late, that he hit incredibly well and had nothing to show for it.
Well, there's been talk around the league that the ball's not traveling like it's done in the past. I don't know if they're looking at that or not, but I've heard quite a few guys complain. And certainly when that ball came off the bat of Will Benson at 106 miles an hour, 30 some odd feet, I'm thinking that ball's way out. Just did not travel.
It's been chronicled by many authorities, excuse me, in the journalistic world, and then Andrew McCutchen tweeted about it the other day. Step off.
And what did McCutchen have to say, basically?
I was told by a rep for MLB the balls are indeed different this year. They stated, quote, higher seams, which produce more drag on the baseball, causing baseballs to not travel as far as they should. 2-0. When asked why, I was told, quote, every baseball is hand sewn, so no ball is the same. When I asked if there's something that can be done about correcting the current performance of this year's baseball, I was told there was, quote, nothing that can be done about it this season, but they are, quote, working hard on getting to the bottom of why the seams are higher. Saw that changeup down. 3 balls and 1 strike. Elly De La Cruz entered this game with homers in 4 straight. Will Benson homered in 4 straight back in mid-May. He nearly homered earlier tonight, and he swings through strike 2. Runners go. Payoff his line. Left center field. Base hit. De La Cruz around third. He scores to tie. Stevenson give him the windmill. He roars home and the Reds ahead. Benson opposite way. A 2-bagger and a 2-1 Cincinnati lead.
Well, just a great piece of hitting by Will Benson. Another well-struck ball. The first one, Buxton takes a home run away, but there is no catching this ball right here. This ball was hammered. This was 109, 110 off the bat. A line drive right over the shortstop's head, and there's no cutting that ball off. Will Benson doing damage.
The first hit of the game for the Reds. Now can they add on? Spencer Steer, foul fly to left his first time. Originally drafted by the Twins, dealt by Minnesota to Cincinnati. Benson peaked in his revenge tour against Cleveland, something he dismissed as a personal drive. He had the greatest run of home run hitting success of his life against the team that drafted him. What has Spencer Steer done against the Twins? The highest average he has against any team in baseball, 409. Check swing. He went, no appeal needed. 6 of his 9 hits against the team that drafted him have gone for extra bases. He has 7 lifetime triples. 2 have come against the Twins. 1 against that man, David Festa, last September. Big lead for Benson, and Festa steps off. A left-hander is up in the Twins bullpen. 33rd pitch of the inning from Festa. That gets by. Steer races down to first base, and he's going to reach it. A strikeout, but the ball got by Jeffers. Benson takes third, and the inning alive. Strikeout pass ball on Jeffers. Jake Fraley about to stand in. They've had a lefty warming. Looked like Jeffers was asking the dugout, what are we doing here? Fraley struck out on a change his first time. Danny Coulombe is the loosening lefty. Swing and a miss. Can the Reds get greedy? A 2-out, 2-strike, 2-run double. The lone hit for the Reds delivered by Will Benson. And seesawed the game from a 1-0 deficit to a 2-1 lead. Now 2 on, 2 outs, and 2 strikes. Away, Steer takes off, feigned throw, nobody covered, and Steer swipes second. That is over, second base hit. Benson scores, windmill on for Steer. They concede the run. Throw to second base. Steer scores standing. It's 4-1 Redlegs.
Well, I talked about how this team has been opportunistic, taking advantage of mistakes. Strike 3 to Spencer Steer, and a pass ball is a mistake. He steals second base, gets himself in running and scoring position. Then Jake Fraley coming through with the big base hit. 2 more on the board.
Now Fraley a threat to run. McLean was 3-0. Took a strike down the middle and then watched a borderline low pitch for ball 4. Fraley 20 or more steals in each of the last 2 years. He's 4 of 6 this year. Inside. And now the pitch count for Festa on the inning. Starting to tread in that dangerous territory. This will be his 40th pitch of the inning. Even for a major leaguer, that's a lot. At this point, Lark, if he loses McLean, the left-handed Friedel on deck, I have to think that Festa's done. Rocco Baldelli has seen his whole team thinned by injury. Pablo Lopez hit the IL. And that hits McLean. The rally for the Reds continues the hard way, and here comes the Twin skipper. That's going to be all for Festa. The Reds rode a big inning to come back against Detroit. Big inning in progress here. Skyline Chili called to the bullpen. 4-1 Cincinnati. We're at GABP this Thursday. Reds Business Day specials. Get your ticket to the game. $10 in concession credit starting at just $25. Details, go to reds.com/tickets. Well, the Reds are sending their 9th man to the plate this inning. It's the 11th different inning the Reds have had 9 or more men hit. That is top 5 in the majors. First out of the Twin bullpen is Danny Coulombe.
Coulombe is a 5-pitch pitcher, the lefty. A lot of cutters, sinker, sweeper, 4-seamer, and a curveball.
35-year-old veteran. Bride shallow at third. Friedl can bunt. Down to the wing. The inning began with a walk drawn by Gavin Lux, who's now on deck. There is some herky-jerky movement as he sets to come to the plate. Just clips the edge for a strike. Friedl's having a career year. Average on a base. And also showing power. Of his 8 homers this year, though, 7 have come on the road. That's going to level out at some point.
Yep.
Broken back contact. Correa on the run. Reds played 4 and take the lead. They knock Festa out of the game. Benson and Fraley right at the heart of it. Our Honda game summary. Festa again 3 2/3. Second straight start against the Reds. Failed to go 4. Benson and Fraley right at the heart of the Reds offense. Buxton a solo shot. The only run for the Twins. While Festa had to throw 41 pitches before getting knocked out in that 4th. Andrew Abbott-Lark grinded a bit, 26 in the 3rd, only 9 pitches in a 1-2-3 4th inning.
We'll take it.
I believe there's going to be a slight delay here. Dan Bellino is underneath some type of injury.
So our first base umpire and crew chief, and we're already down the original home plate umpire, Tony Randazzo. Jim, I saw, I think an inning ago, or maybe during the pitching delay, Tomas Vera was out chatting with the umpires, but I assume that was a possible update about their injured brother.
I thought it was too until I saw Dan Bellino go underneath, and he's got a little extra hitch in his giddy up. We're going to go hockey injury on this and just say lower body injury. It's something that he's hampered out there, but he's back out, ready for play.
Well, trying to push through, hope he's okay. Already down to a 3-man umpiring crew as things stand. So Abbott's take to a lead. Harrison Bader struck out looking his first time. That's when Abbott rallied from a 3-0 count. Strike 1. The Twins already have action in their bullpen. Their only other lefty, Joey Wentz, is now up. Yeah, the old adage about it's not who you play but when you play them in baseball feels all the more true this year. I mean, you look at the American League Central alone. It's been a lot of the Reds' foes of late. They've seen the Royals, they've seen the Guardians a couple of times, they're facing the Twins. Outside of the White Sox, there has been a stretch this year where all other 4 teams in that division has been the hottest team in baseball for a week and a half to 2 weeks. The Royals had their run, the Guardians have had their run, the Tigers have had their run, and the Twins at one point won 13 in a row. But the Reds are catching them seemingly at the right time. 4 straight losses, 8 of 10. Chopped up the middle. McLean backing up. Pretty grab with a stretch steer. Our Allstate Good Hands replay.
Well, we've seen Matt McLean make quite a few plays. He knows he's got to get rid of this ball because Harrison Bader can run. Nice job by Spence staying on that bag at first base.
Steer has stood out at first. McLean has been very good at second. First pitch, Jonah Bride. That ends at 0 for 25. You knew it would come at some point, and it comes with 1 out in the 5th inning.
Nice job of Will Benson cutting that ball off down the line.
So now top of the order and the dangerous Byron Buxton. By the way, congrats to Cam Collier. They started late due to weather at Double-A. His Double-A debut tonight. First AB, base hit to center field. And that's a double play ball to second. McLean flipped to De La Cruz. Speedy runner, not in time. And Buxton's one of the fastest men in the majors, and he reaches on the 4-6 fielder's choice.
Yeah, Buxton hits you a ball like this, you pretty much got to know you're only going to get one. So you just make sure the one and execute the play.
The only right-handed hitting benchman for the Twins, Christian Vasquez, now stands in to hit for Ryan Jeffers, so catcher for catcher. Vasquez 191 on the year. Jeffers ends his day 2 for 2. At the knees for a ball. Buxton a perfect 12 for 12 trying to steal this year. Jeffers had a foul ball off his bare hand last inning. I wonder if that's part of this. The Twins have had several injuries just in losing 8 of their last 10. 2-0. Fouled back. Pablo Lopez hit the shelf with a shoulder. He's a starting pitcher. Zebby Matthews, another starting pitcher, with a shoulder. And third baseman Royce Lewis with a hamstring. And that foul ball, you have to think, is part of why Vasquez is hitting here. Was that also Arizona? Didn't that happen last homestand? Yeah, it was Moreno in the rain on the Friday night Apple game. And then was out the next day. We didn't see him the rest of the series. If this is Arizona all over again, the Reds are going to sweep, right?
I like that call.
You know what that also means? That there'd be a rain suspended game picked up the next day.
Well, let's leave that part out.
Okay, yeah. Let's, we can edit the full reprisal. 3-1. Popped up. McLean makes the catch. Home Run Challenge. Annie Cutlip from Kitts Hill, Ohio, will win a brand new Built in the USA Tundra if a red hits the Toyota Hit and Win sign. Register for your chance at any Cincinnati, Northern Kentucky Toyota dealer. A couple of changes here. 4-1 Reds lead. We shift to the bottom of the 5th. Vasquez stays in the game and catches. He had hit for Jeffers. Also, remember the pass ball strikeout. That was a critical part of extending the Reds inning. Adding on extra runs came after the foul ball off the hand of Jeffers. And a new man on the mound. It's very odd. The only other lefty for the Twins, Joey Wentz. After the first lefty, Danny Coulomb, faced one man.
Seems like odd circumstance to us, but it is what it is. Joey Wentz, 27 years old, the lefty. Tall lefty, 6'5". He's a 3-pitch pitcher, 4-seam fastball, cutter, and a curve.
Waiver claim from the Pirates last week. Now Lux triggered that 4-run 4th inning. Worked a full count walk to begin the inning. He's also grounded out to second base. chases that cutter. Now, Wentz, originally a first rounder by the Braves out of high school. He could hit some too. In 2015, while he was a high schooler, he was in the junior home run derby that took place at the Major League All-Star game. One of his home runs in that derby, chopped to first, backing up, bit of a kick there on France, able to cover. Allegedly, this is before the days of TrackMan and StatCast the way it is today, went 543 feet. That's what was marked in the event.
I'm assuming that was after the bounce.
That's all I know.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
If there's a man that could hit a ball that far, it's probably at the plate right now.
That's right.
Elly De La Cruz turns around to bat right-handed. He's reached on fielder's choice, stole a bag and scored. He's 0 for 2. Up and away. In his last 20 games, he leads the majors in runs scored and slugging. He is second in extra base hits in that time. And that fastball's got some ride, but it's out of the zone, 2-0. I think those power numbers are probably more readily known, but he's also right outside the top 5 and on base. He's been walking a lot more. And Lark, that was something I thought about for Elly after each of his first couple of years. You're not going to eliminate the strikeout. It's part of the game for a lot of people. Can you cut down a little bit? Can you bump up the walk a little bit? He's done that. It's not a full season yet. It's a few weeks, but he's doing that right now. And he walks on 4.
You know, it is a process. It's not a finished product, right? He's going to continue to evolve as a player. The hope is that he stays healthy enough to allow that process to happen.
Tyler Stevenson has walked and scored. He's also struck out on a changeup. First pitch in the air to center. Buxton. Time now for a word from Rally House.
Play ball, Cincy. Shop the latest in red style with your favorite brands and throwback designs. Rally House has gear for every fan.
Encarnacion Strand has struck out swinging on the slider. He has foul popped to the catcher. I've got to think, Lark, that there are other circumstances, but the #1 reason I would imagine that Joey Wentz was used here is Elly De La Cruz. We have seen more and more opponents center their scouting focus and their bullpen usage on when they can try to turn him around. This is in the air. Decent carry to right center. Willie Castro on the track. He's got it. (4-1), the Reds have the lead. Our StatCast 3D powered by Google Cloud. The out pitches for Abbott tonight.
What that says to me is unpredictable. You could see him getting chases out of the strike zone. I think that's because he throws so many strikes. He's always around the plate. But it's all the pitches. And the one you don't see in there is the cutter. You see four-seam fastball, but he's cut a couple of those fastballs.
McLean from the outfield grass, strong throw.
See Matt McLean playing compact. Watch how he kind of sinks when he catches this ball. See that little sink right there, getting into his legs to create that power to throw the ball across the diamond? That's a thing of beauty.
Strike one on Correa, who is flying to right. He's bounced into a force. Big cut of that curveball. Time for Correa. To De La Cruz. Long throw. De La Cruz has taken tall shortstop to a new level. Listed at 6'5". He's pretty close to 6'6". Correa is another bigger shortstop. He's listed at a true 6'4".
There's some specimens out there.
Ty France is lined to right. He is struck out. Cal Ripken Jr., one of the early taller shortstops. A-Rod certainly was another taller shortstop. Those were outliers in an era where that was highly abnormal. Is it becoming normal? Tall throw. That took Steer off the bag. Safe arrival for France. E5.
See, yes, you see that extra step he takes. The first time he takes a step, his arm is in position to throw. Throw right now. That little extra step in that pump throws off the rhythm, the timing, leads to the errant throw.
It's his second error of the year, his first at third base. Change up down to Lee, who has struck out and flying to center. That's his first error at third base in the big leagues. Did not have one when he played there earlier either. So he's now at what, 67 and 2/3 innings at third, and that's the lone mistake. That is through left side base hit. So Lee now rides a 16-game hitting streak, the best active run in the majors.
Just throw the hands at the ball. This is a really big critical out right here, part of the game. Tyler Stevenson once again going to the mound. I think he feels the gravity of the situation right here. We need an out. You know, a lot of times we talked about how the Reds have been able to win some games, specifically that last game in Detroit, where just a few misplayed balls, a few errors led to big innings for us. Error at third base on the errant throw to first base, base hit. Get this out right here. Get out of this inning.
Trevor Larnach has doubled off Will Benson's glove. He's also flied to center. 2 on, 2 out. Scott Barlow is now warming for the Reds. Just got up. While Brock Stewart has just begun to throw in the Twins bullpen. That ran in. Fouled back. Left-handed Benson is due to lead off the 6th. I would imagine Wentz would stay out there for him. Larnach has toiled against lefties on his year and career, but he has enormous power, and he is the tying run at the plate. Hard ground ball, and that's past the backhand of McLean. Round of third, France scores. Lee scoots first to third. Throw in initially dropped. Hard hit for Larnach. That's his second knock of the game, and it's a 2-run affair.
Ground ball through the infield, and this is what I'm talking about. Momentum shifts, little small things that happen during the ball game.
Strike one on Bader, who has struck out looking. He's bounced to second. This run and any others that could come here against Abbott unearned. It was a 2-out error. Saw the first base runner, France, who's already come around. That's driven in the air to right. Fraley going way back. Has to adjust late. Leap at the wall and knocks it over. Home run. Bader rocks one to right. A 3-run shot, and the Reds now trail it 5-4. Bader with more homers at the Reds' expense, 10 than any other opponent.
Yeah, Harrison Bader hit this ball well. It's a fastball down and away. And I think that ball was staying in the ballpark, but hits off the heel of the glove. The thumb of the glove of Jake Fraley knocks it out of the ballpark. Yeah, that ball is in play.
And that's going to be all for Andrew Abbott. A frustrating sequence. All these runs unearned to the lefty. Reds trail. Barlow's in. Cincinnati Reds baseball on FanDuel Sports Network is brought to you by Skyline Chili. Feeling good? It's Skyline time. Multiple changes. Reds down a run. Scott Barlow is in to pitch. Pinch hitter at the plate. Matt Wallner stands in for Jonah Bryan. So Bryan ends his day 1 for 2. That means the Twins bench now just has 2 left-handed hitters. Big rip on that slider. Deshaun Kersey Jr., Cody Clemens are the only bench bats for Minnesota. Final line on Abbott, 5 2/3, 8 hits, 5 runs, only 1 earned. No walks, 5 strikeouts. His last time out, he got some of the plays of the year from his defense, particularly his outfield. Tonight, there's a double off the glove, there's a homer that wasn't off a glove, and a 2-out error that opened the door for all of it on the infield. Swing and a miss. Reds back down a run, a 4 spot for the Twins in the visiting 6th. All-Stars. Scan the QR code to cast your 2025 Pro Spirit MLB All-Star ballot daily, or visit MLB.com/vote. Reds trail it 5-4. Multiple changes for the Twins. Reds trying to rally from a 1-run deficit. Will Benson leads it off. They do make the move to the right-handed Brock Stewart. It's a little surprising. Benson a 2-run double and a run scored. Hit that double at nearly 110, his highest exit velo of the year, 3rd hardest hit ball of his big league career. And Matt Wallner stays in the game in right. Willie Castro goes from right to second. Brooks Lee goes from second to third. Three and 0. Lee is backed up dramatically and essentially plays short. Normally you see that reserved for 2 strikes. And Benson stinging the ball hard, but you got a bigger right-hander who follows through hard to first.
If he wanted to drop a bunt down to third base.
Long look for Lee. Full count.
I think the way that Will Benson has been swinging the bat, the success he's had, there's no thought about bunts. However, last homestand we did see he and TJ Friedl out there working on dropping down bunts here and there. So certainly something he's thought about.
Not a terrible idea as the leadoff guy just blew the lead to get on base.
Not terrible at all, John.
And he strikes out. Word now from AAA.
This is Ben. He has an insurance policy with AAA, and with it, peace of mind. Eric would rather do it himself. Get more from insurance with AAA.
Spencer Steer reached on the strikeout pass ball, stole second and scored. He's 0 for 2. Foul fly to left. Fastball up, strike 1. The Reds trailed this game 1-0. They led 4-1. Twins have come back to claim the lead. Twins are no strangers to comebacks. They have come from behind to win 20 times on the year. It ties them for the 3rd most such victories in the majors. Only the Dodgers and Blue Jays have come back to win more.
36 victories and 20 come from behind wins.
Now they've shown that ability to roar back, but they also have shown an ability to blow it. 2-1. Swing and a miss. When they've led after 6, they've lost 7 times. Only the Athletics have lost more when leading after 6 innings than the Twins. Going to some extremes.
And you wonder why managers turn gray quickly or lose their hair quickly.
It can be a stressful job. Steer pops it up. Castro. Well, 2 down. Jake Fraley, a 2-run single. He's also struck out. And you could see in his body language the pain and frustration that he had trying to make a play, and the ball ricocheted off his glove below the yellow line and volleyed over for a home run off the bat of Bader. To second and past the stabbing try of Castro, base hit.
Jake Fraley definitely swinging the bat better. Crisp line drive through the second base hole.
Just the 3rd hit for the Reds on the game. Matt McLain's been on twice, a walk hit by pitch. Strike one. Call to strike. Grounded into right field, base hit. Fraley eyes right, shuts it down at second. Matt McLain on for a third time tonight.
Really good hitting by Matt McLain. Look at him maintain his balance. 2 strikes, tough pitch, just put it in play.
A visit here for Stewart. Got to think a combination of not only what TJ Friedl can do at the plate, he's 0 for 3 to this point, and also possibly the run game for the Reds. Now, yes, a base hit here likely ties the game. Stewart has been run on 5 times this year. The Twins have not caught a man while he's been pitching. And Fraley and McLain are 2 of the quicker, better base stealers for these Reds over their young careers. Now, Friedl, a multi-dimensional player who can lay down a bunt, but you miss with a pitch in, he can turn on it and hammer it over the fence. His ability to go to all fields has truly stood out and has been a central part of a career year. France is going to guard the line at first and play deep. Lee plays even with third. This man has made it his mission this year to get on base as often as possible. He has not yet reached tonight. Stewart very much is a strikeout pitcher at this stage of his career. You don't see it often. He was far more pitch to contact from 16 through 19. Spent a year in indie ball, spent a year out of baseball hurt, and since he's come back has been at least 11.5 strikeouts per 9, 3 straight years. This year, the best of his career, almost 13 strikeouts per 9. That is excellent. That's to right center. Wallner on the dive that gets by. Fraley scores. McLain sent home. McLain on the headfirst plunge, and the Reds seesaw back in front. It's 6-5. A gapper by the gamer as Friedl comes through again.
TJ Friedl just doing an excellent job. Looks like that ball's a little bit off the end of the bat. You can see Wallner just can't get to that ball at all. Ball splitting the gap.
Can they add on? Gavin Lux has walked. He's 0 for 2. Look out, J.R. House. Boyhood, summers with the grandparents, high school football, it all flashed right there.
Yes, indeed.
Twins have changed the right side defense. Remember earlier they pinched hard against Lux. They're not here. They're trying to take away extra bases. France is tighter to the line and playing much deeper. And Castro is now an extra 3 steps to his right. Justin Topa now warms for the Twins. Friedel a big lead. 2-1. Three balls and 1 strike. Luz Lux on deck, poised to hit left-handed Elly De La Cruz. Full count. Payoff. Stewart began this year on the IL. A hamstring strain in the spring. Got activated later April. He had been flawless in recent time. 1 earning in 14 innings entering tonight. Burned for a couple of runs this inning. Payoff again. Is low. He walks, locks 2 on for De La Cruz. Good sized crowd here tonight. De La Cruz making history in his young career. He has not yet homered in 5 straight games. 4 over his last 4 entering tonight. He's reached on fielder's choice. He's walked. He's stole a bag and scored. Doesn't have a hit yet. He's 0 for 2. Big swing and then changeup. One and one. Two and one. The word Terry Francona used to describe De La Cruz of late: quieter, less movement, more direct to the ball, better takes. He is not falling for the bait. He has had multiple good takes on changeups down this AB. Topa is ready in the Twins' pen. Full count. Friedel's 2-run double gave the Reds the lead back. He's off second. Lux off first. They'll go on the pitch. Payoff. Ball 4, bases loaded. And here comes Rocco Baldelli. There goes Brock Stewart. Does not survive the 6th. Topa gets the call with the bases juiced. Two runs in here in the 6th. The Reds have the lead back against the Twins 6-5. Bases loaded. Back-to-back walks to Lux and De La Cruz in the wake of a 2-run double by Friedl. And here is the journeyman Justin Topa.
34-year-old Justin Topa. He is a 4-pitch pitcher, a lot of sinkers. Throws a sweeper, cutter, and a changeup.
2 Tommy Johns. A bat boy for Double-A Binghamton in New York State, the Mets farm club growing up, now facing Tyler Stevenson. At the knee, strike 1. Stevenson has walked and scored. He's 0 for 2. Giant chance for the Reds. Low. All 6 Reds runs have come with 2 outs tonight. It looked like the rebirth of the Rally Reds in Detroit. Could that carry to this opener with Minnesota? Peak Rally Reds not only had a knack for getting late knocks, but they could also deliver that knockout blow when given chances like this. Top softly and foul. Entering tonight, in their last 11 games, the Reds had rallied from behind to win 5 times. They had 7 comeback wins in their first 61 games.
Baseball.
Confidence is such a huge part of it. Strike 3. They get a couple. TJ Friedl drives one to right center, and the Reds back in front. It's been a back and forth ball game. Reds in front again, 6-5. TJ Friedl, the latest hero. 2-run double past a diving Wallner in right center. Top of the order, though, for the Twins. Byron Buxton has homered. He is 1 for 3. Scott Barlow got the last out of the 6th, only threw 5 pitches. CES plays deep and tight to the chalk at 3rd.
This is where the loss of Graham Ashcraft comes into play. This is normally his spot.
That's a great point, Jim. And Tony Santillan is now up in the bullpen, but Ashcraft has normally been the bridge man here, not just for an inning either, Jim.
Yeah, he quite possibly could have been that guy to put out the fire there in the 6th as well.
We've seen multiple innings from him, but a groin injury has him on the IL. That was announced earlier today. So how are you drawing this up, Lark, from now to the finish? If Santillan's up now, assuredly Pagano would be available for at least an inning. What are you thinking?
Yeah, well, you know, I feel like the present is most important. So Scott Barlow getting through it, it's really important. You know, when injuries happen in that bullpen, everyone else feels okay, we're going to shift our roles a little bit, but everyone's willing to take the baseball. Scott Barlow's turn right now. I mean, Luis May just came back here. Would they throw him in the fire? I don't know. But I do know Terry Francona has a lot of confidence in this man sitting on the mound. And Barlow, for the most part, has delivered.
It's a big strikeout of Buxton. It's now Vasquez who popped to second when he hit in the 5th. Part of the calculus for Terry Francona with when and how he uses his relievers. It's not the factor, but it's a factor. If there's an appreciable amount of experience, pitcher versus hitter, then those numbers matter to him. Swing and a miss. Not 0 for 1, not 2 for 2. The guy on deck, Willie Castro, is the man that Barlow has seen the most. He's 0 for 10 against him with 6 strikeouts. The wave rolls around GABP. To short, De La Cruz. 2 down. Word now from Big Sandy Superstore.
You'll find the best selection of the top brands at the guaranteed lowest price. Big Sandy Superstore in the Kenwood Shopping Center.
So here is Castro, who entered on an 8-game hit streak, a 12-game on base streak. He is flying to right, struck out, grounded to second. Backdoor bender, strike 1. High bouncer. McLean darts in. Nice glove on the run. Got it.
It has been really fun to watch Matt McLean go from shortstop to second base, showing the athleticism, making yet another great play.
Our storylines brought to you by FanDuel. FanDuel's total runs pregame over 9 plus 100. Now the over 12.5 minus 174. First pitch in on Encarnacion Strand, who was struck out, foul pop to the catcher, and flied to right. Strike 2. Rolled to short, Correa. 1 down. Will Benson robbed of a homer by a leaping Buxton. A 2-run double, a run scored. He's also struck out. just missed. Home plate umpire Tony Randazzo took a foul off his mask, had to leave the game. Clint Vondrak took over in the early stage and has been on balls and strikes since from second. It's a three-man umpiring crew. He went no appeal, 2-1. There have been some eerie parallels. Home run connected on by Buxton in the same spot that he robbed Benson earlier in the game. Jake Fraley, who made one of the greatest plays I've ever seen in person to help Andrew Abbott to a 9-inning CG on Tuesday. Saw a ball go off his glove and over the fence for a home run. Tonight, it's been a weird, wacky game. And it's not done yet. There's a one-out walk to Benson. By the way, we were talking tall shortstops earlier, and Jim Day reminded me. Dave Concepcion, bigger shortstop for his era at 6'2". Today, his birthday. 9-time All-Star, 5-time Gold Glover.
Yep.
Happy birthday.
Yes, indeed.
Strike one on Steer, who's 0 for 3.
Numbers up on the wall, retired.
Big honor for the Big Red Machine coming up later in the month. Benson fakes, pitches rolled to short. Correa the flick. That's all they'll get. Some odd trouble on the transfer there for Castro. Is it possible he thought the inning was over? That grimace says maybe.
Yeah, I'm looking at this right here. It's very cavalier.
He had plenty of time.
Yeah. Looks like he just forgot.
Mark, this is a weird game. This is a weird game. Jake Fraley. First pitch, line to second.
Night game again tomorrow. Game 2 of this 3-game set. Back-to-back lefties for the Reds. Nick Lodolo takes the ball against Bailey Ober. 6:30 for Reds Live, the pregame edition, brought to you by Ray St. Clair Roofing. Ellie Taylor Cruz bobblehead night, expecting a large crowd.
That's a tall order on the mound too, Jim. Lodolo at 6'6", Ober at 6'9". CES is out of the game. Defensive change. Santiago Espinal takes over at third base. Tony Santillan is the man on the mound.
Really nice job from Tony Santillan out of the bullpen. It's been durable, available. My nickname for him is Torito. It's Little Bull, but he's no chance, not by any stretch of the imagination, is he a small guy.
Well, there's double barrel going to the Twins pen. Both Griffin Jacks and Cole Sands are up. Sands has been hammered of late. Jacks is more often used in 8th innings and has been more successful. Struck out Correa.
Well, you know what you're going to get from Tony Santillan. It's going to be power, and he's done a really nice job of throwing that ball at the top of the zone. You see Correa just can't get to it.
Ty France has reached on error and scored. He's 0 for 3. Strikeout, line to right. Take strike one. coming right at him. 0-2. Santillan looked great Sunday in Detroit. Used that slider as a finishing pitch. Got a couple of strikeouts. Check swing. Did he go? No. So France, who's been among the baseball leaders hit by pitch throughout his career, is a one-out runner, and he is the tying tally aboard.
Slider just got away from him. It dropped that elbow.
That's the 118th time in his career he's been hit by pitch. 2 years ago, he got hit by pitch 34 times. Pinch runner in. Brooks Lee, first pitch, pop foul. So with Kersey now running, that means Cody Clemens is the only bench bat left for the Twins. Also means they'll have to make a defensive change at first base, where France is pretty smooth. Two. Lee a base hit his last time. That brought the league's best active hit streak to 16 games. He also scored. Nicely handled by Steer. Kersey this year 5 of 7 trying to steal. That's also his lifetime numbers. Still has less than 100 big league at bats. Smoked foul. Kersey in the minors was a maven. That includes 39 steals in 23. He had 36 in AAA last year. Lifetime of the minors, 136 steals, caught 24 times. These are two teams that have toiled in close games. They're both in the bottom 6 in win percentage in one-run games. The Reds are 7-10. The Twins are 7-12. The teams worse: the Rockies, the White Sox, the Braves, and the Red Sox. Two teams you'd expect that are pretty abysmal. Two teams that might surprise you a bit, that have a lot of talent and have had a mixed bag. Braves have definitively been underachieving. Red Sox certainly shocked the baseball world with the Devers trade the other day. They have a good young core, and it sounds like they're in the market to add a big money productive bat. Bigger lead for Kersey. 1-2. Well, both Jax and Sands are ready and watching in the Twins' pen. I would guess it's Jax if the Twins tie or take a lead. Sands if the Reds are still ahead 6-5. Longest plate appearance by a Twin on the night. This is the 8th pitch. 2-2. He has fouled off 6, including each of the first 5 in a row. Another foul. Downstairs, Lee has had baseball in his blood since birth. He's named after the Hall of Famer Brooks Robinson. They considered naming him after another great in Lou Brock, but Brock Lee probably wasn't going to work, so they went with Brooks. Speedy runner at first in a 1-run game. The man riding the longest hit streak in the big leagues at the plate. 11th pitch, runner goes, swing and a miss, throw down is a good one. They got him. Strike him out, throw him out, double play.
Got the punch out on the heater. And then Tyler Stevenson with the dime.
Reds looking for some more separation. Their skinny 1-run lead, 6-5 opener against the Twins. The lead is seesawed a few times tonight. 9-1-2. Matt McLain aboard 3 times. A walk, hit by pitch, a single, a run scored. Faces the new hurler Cole Sands.
See the curveball by Cole Sands. Go along with that as a sinker, a split, 4-seam fastball on the cutter.
Called low. This feels like old school National League. Twins have used 19 players in this game. Mixing and matching. They've used the entire bench. Cody Clemens is in. He takes over at first. Fastball snaps for a strike. So the pinch runner Kersey is out, and there are no bench bats left for the Twinkies. One, two. Almost got him. That had an odd sound on that swing. Trying to check it. McLain now rides a 5-game hit streak, hits an 8 of 10. He's made some really nice defensive plays tonight, too. Swing and miss, breaking ball away. On top of the order, TJ Friedl, who delivered the big moment as it stands. Our Spectrum replay, his 2-run gap double in the 6th.
Yeah, I feel like TJ has just been doing so many nice things. The beauty of this swing right here is that he just stays through the middle of the field, doesn't try to do too much. Couple runners on. Driving in 2. He's been really, really good this year.
He deserves all-star consideration.
I would second that.
I mean, to me, he deserves to be in the game. What do you want a leadoff guy and center fielder to do? Make the plays in the outfield, get on base, score runs. For most of this year, only Shohei Ohtani has reached more in the leadoff spot than TJ Friedl. That's pretty good company.
Well, he certainly has done his job, and good for him and good for Terry Francona for having that discussion early, setting the expectations. TJ Friedl has certainly delivered so far, and hopefully will continue to do so.
Two low. Closer Emilio Pagan is watching and waiting in the Reds bullpen. Wallner was just stretching in right. Might be remembering that headlong dive that he offered at Friedel's ball to right center the last time he was up. Look out, Reds dugout. Sands has been lit up of late. His last 7 outings, ERA over 10. Grew up a neighbor and teammate in high school of Cole Reagan's, the Royals. That's a beautiful backdoor breaking ball. Strike 3. It's a great pitch.
Yeah, this ball starts off way off the plate. And then look at all that movement. Wow.
Gavin Lux has walked twice. He's 0 for 2. A couple of ground ball outs. Ball 1. Big news down to Double-A. Cam Collier did get that base hit, his first ABs. Sal Stewart has a couple of knocks and a walk. And Jose Franco has a perfect game going. He is through 5, 7 strikeouts. Chattanooga leads at Rocket City 6-0. And Jose Franco is a perfecto going through 5. Pagan throwing in the Reds bullpen. Lux is very capable of going the other way. Hard pull tilt on the infield. And against the last lefty in Friedel, we saw Sands end that at bat with that beautiful backdoor breaking ball. Deliver that to Lux. He can just poke that ball beyond third. Have an easy double. Upstairs miss. It's a third walk drawn by Lux tonight. Ellie De La Cruz has walked twice himself. He's also reached on fielder's choice, stole the bag and scored. He's 0 for 2. Check swing. He went without appeal. So this is where the 3 umpire system comes in, right? Man at first base. There is no 4th umpire at third. So left-handed hitter up. The appeal would go to the baseman who's on the first base side of the mound, which is probably grossly unfair.
Yeah, you can't see it.
That's line to center and right at Buxton. 8 complete. Pagan will be on. We go to the 9th. The Reds ahead by 1 run. Back in Cincinnati, 9th inning, Reds ahead by 1 run. The Reds closer Emilio Pagan to face the bottom third. Pagan spent 2 years with the Twins, 22 and 23, had 10 saves in that time. Faces Trevor Larnach, who has doubled off Benson's glove. RBI single to right center, a run scored. First pitch popped up. Espinal. Reds are 2 outs away. Cincinnati looking to make it 8 wins in 10 games, trying to get to 3 games over 500, tying a season high. Twins trying to avoid their first 5-game slide of the year. They haven't lost 5 in a row since over a year ago, early June of last year. Harrison Bader, 3-run homer tonight. That bounced off the glove of Jake Fraley at right below the yellow line and then hopped over. Fraley a part of the Reds offensive, getting some runs back. 2-0. Called a strike. Pagan has been successful on his last 8 save tries. He's looking for his 17th of the year. Only the Padres, Robert Suarez, and the Nationals, Kyle Finnegan, have more in the National League. Bader is on. So here comes Wallner, who hit for Bride back in the 6th. He struck out. Bader 7 steals, caught 3 times this year, 101 career swipes. 0-2. Popped up. Back it out of play. Nice grab downstairs. On deck is arguably the Twins' most talented player, Byron Buxton. Time for the batter. If Buxton could consistently stay healthy, I believe he is more than deserving of being a true household name, but he has had a hard time staying healthy on his career. Struck him out.
I believe Emilio Pagan saw a hole in Matt Wallner's swing. That hole for many lefties is up and in. And he has consistently pounded that heater. Nice bit of pitching right there.
Now Buxton, who has homered tonight. No doubles at third. Ball 1. Two and 0. Just low, 3-0. 4-pitch walk. Second walk of the outing and inning for Pagan that pushes Bader, the tying run, to scoring position. So here is Christian Vasquez, who entered to hit in the 5th. He's 0 for 2, a pop to second. He has bounced to short. It's the first time all year that Pagan has walked more than one man in an outing. Good block by Tyler Stevenson. That is 5 straight out of the zone for Pagan. One and one. One and two. Couple of Ks for Pagan in a scoreless ninth. The Reds hold on. They take down the Twins 6-5, and Cincinnati stays on. It's wins in 8 of 10. The Reds a season-high tying 3 games above 500.
Well, John, tip your hat to the bullpen. Scott Barlow, Tony Santillan, Emilio Pagan. Outstanding job today. Andrew Abbott did not pitch poorly. The 1 home run he gave up, the 1 earned run out of the 5 runs. A couple misplayed balls behind him, but the bullpen did such a nice job to give this offense a chance, and the offense really stepped up. I feel like Will Benson critical that 2-run double early in the ball game, and then TJ Friedl continuing to have his great season with his 2-run double. This was a collective effort. This team is playing some good baseball right now. Just keep it rolling.
Well, the Reds get the win. Reds Live will break it all down. The set will be bumping. BG and Sam from your local Toyota dealers on the other side. Damn it, it's 6-5 Reds.